Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. So this one is now another war of the season, so season 36, and we've ended up matching against the Matrix here. So we're going to go in with the team that you're going to see in a second. So again, we're using the Sick and Tired Global for CGR. Then we're also going to be using Warlock and then Falcon. So it's the first time I've used Falcon this season, especially, obviously I know I used him quite a bit last season with him being Defiance and stuff. He was very overpowered in my opinion, but we're going to be using him today in war, and he only has one fight. So I'm going to start off on path 9. As you can see here, good two pretty solid fights here. CGR for Void and then Warlock for Havoc. It's a pretty common standard placement. The only thing that's slightly different here is that the Void here is actually a rank 4. Then we take the Null. This fight, he's a beefy chap. He doesn't mess about. But while this war was actually going on, a couple of alliance mates and myself were actually out in town together. We were just like having a couple of drinks and a chill out sort of like meet up. So that was pretty interesting. I did these fights like right in front of them while we were sat at the table. They couldn't believe that I kind of just sat there at the table and was just doing them. Realistically, the fights didn't go perfectly, and you're going to obviously see that in the next couple of minutes. But I got through them, and they were fine. So I'm going to change my masteries over just really quickly here. This Void kind of is really beneficial if you put on at least the half suicides with the bleed. I couldn't think of the word then. So that Cosmic Ghost Rider has like maximum damage output without having the poison on himself, and then giving the Void the huge fury damage that he can gain from the node, because it's a 480% fury. And it'll be similar then for the Null fight that comes after Havoc. So we just have to be careful and wary of that. So as you can see, I'm just making sure I've got all my things up right. At this point, I was trying to figure out why the glass cannon tree hadn't opened up, and then I realized it's because I hadn't got 15 points. So there we go. I've stopped having a stupid moment, and now I can move on to actually assigning these suicides on. So we're going to make sure here that I click onto the bleed ones, because if I put even one in poison, I have to do it all again, and I'd rather not spend this units twice if I don't need to. So that's the mastery is done. I just have another double check to make sure I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to go into this Void fight. So because of the Cavalier offer, which I do think is an exceptional offer that's come out and been quite common for the last couple of months, I do start to have a lot of these 30% now in my inventory. So I'm going to use one of them, and you're going to see it's actually pretty useful. I only put on the 150% because I was like, right, I'm half suicides, I'm 30% boosted, I'm only going to do a 150, and then I look down at my other cosmic boost and I'm like, oof, okay, I only have one of the 12s left, so let me use an 8. Then I've still got enough to carry on for the next few wars of the season, and I don't really need to worry about it, sort of thing. So advanced power start, again, you don't need to use this. Many YouTubers out there have done the videos. You don't need to use this. You can just full cycle it, but you kind of need a little bit of cooperation from Void to that to happen, and it just never seems to work out that way for me. So we go into the fight. We hit off the initial parry in heavy like this, so this is going perfect. Then we get the next parry, so we can do the light attacks. And then we miss that parry, and I trigger dexterity. And you're going to see from here, this just escalates. So I get the poisons, you can see that ticking away. I throw another special 2, thinking this might kill them. That didn't kill him. So then I get the next special 2, and luckily I catch him on the dash back, and it manages to kill him. Not a fun fight. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong, and it's very difficult to recover. What it's taught me is no matter what boosted, 12% cosmic boost, 200%, especially for a rank 4 when you're only using a rank 3 CGR, because that took 3 special 2s when it definitely shouldn't have done. But it means we can go into this fight here with the advanced power start 1 still active, And that means that the indestructible starts right at the start of the fight. That way, when I'm just parrying and doing a couple of hits here and there while it's in the incinerate phase, the indestructible disappears, and then as soon as the poison phase comes out, I can start smacking into them and actually doing damage. Again, you can do it without, but I just think it, just in terms of a time saver, it works better. I could have put on a tech power boost just for this special attack damage, but I'm doing Null straight after, and I know that Warlock doesn't really need this. And I wouldn't ever be putting on the power back boost for tech for this fight, just because it means that Havoc will be pretty much constantly indestructible. So we're going to go through here, and you can see by the time the indestructible phase kicked off again, I was back into the poison phase and ready to just throw this special 2 and end this fight in just under a minute. So fantastic job by Warlock there, very, very solid, no need to worry. Now, I could have been quite tight, cheap, whatever else people want to call me, and let my alliance mate do this Null, because we both had CGR that we were going to plan on use, but I just decided that I'd save them a few items and I'd go for it. I may as well take an extra fight anyway, because at least it's going to help the war video, and it'll give me some experience of fighting this Null on this node. So you see there's like 20 seconds left. I was umming and ahhing, and I'm like, right, let's just go for it. So use a couple of these big potions there, one of the 9.5s. So I'm starting to run slow, like slightly low on them level 5s, but it is what it is. Compensation finished a long time ago, and that's just what happens. So you see there, I actually ran out of my advanced power start, and in hindsight, I probably could have done with just letting my alliance mate do this fight. But like I said, I wanted to do it. I wanted to get it done. So you're going to see me get it done here. So rank 4 Null. High Sig level means it's going to start off with a debuff, so it's going to put the Fury on me. What I didn't even think about was him initially smacking me in the face with a heavy attack, and then me missing parries and everything else in between. So I throw the special 2, or throw the heavy there. Now I'm just waiting to throw the special 2. And again, I trigger dexterity just as I'm about to throw it. Luckily for me, obviously Null doesn't do damage over time like Void does, so I can just pop this next one and the fight's over. But yeah, just missing like parries, missing dexterities, missed timing everything. Didn't go well. So you can see there, section 1, 4 items used. We're going to move up to, if I remember rightly, it was Mojo. Yeah, and then we're just not going to be touching the game again for a little while. Like I said, I was on this night out, so I was like, right, I'll do this, forget about it. Then I came home, and I decided to do these like quite early in the morning, because I was planning on waking up quite early to go on holiday, and it meant quite a few hours of driving. I wasn't sure of my commitments or my connection, so I was like, right, let's just get these done. This for me is like a classic old school GT40 fight from like 8 or 9 seasons ago, where I was basically tasked this, we knew it was happening every single war. You may as well not even check the map. It was going to be my Warlock versus a Domino on Spite, on Path 7. And I just had a rancid time for seasons, just trying to maintain boost, but it has become a lot easier now. Now, 10 Gen here, who I believe is one of the kind of really higher upper echelon Battlegrounds players, didn't place with willpower this war, so Matrix are taking it somewhat seriously, unless they just don't ever run willpower, because there is nothing, there's no power draining ability here on her. But I decided to do the special 2 there, because I know I have an indestructible on. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. No, so, I didn't have an indestructible, I had the special start 1, I think. And I just knew that I'd be able to take a few of these special 3s because I had to in the past. And it's from personal experience that I learned that that fight can be done without it. And there we go. So apologies for saying about the wrong grey boost. We're halfway through the next war now against New Nation, while I'm actually doing this voice recording. So now what I'm going to do is we have this Thing fight next. So this is a rank 4 Sig 200 Thing, and it's going to be on the Aspect of Evolution node on Path 7. So I decide, without really speaking to the officers, because I didn't really think it was necessary, to take off Suicides to be able to use Thing. to use Falcon against Thing, because I just assumed that would have been better. I was big boosted, like I was 20% boosted, sorry. I was going through it. At this point, the war was pretty comfy. We were already a few kills up at this point. So, again, you're doing a Falcon versus a Thing. You're pretty confident that this is going to go quite well. I don't need deep wounds because he's not bleedable. I don't need assassin because that can hurt me in the last part of the fight for ability accuracy reasons. So I'm like, right, okay, let's just go into this Thing. Let's get it done with Falcon. It's Falcon's one and only fight. You're gonna see here, look, it's got 191k health. So he's a beefy chap again. It felt like a lot of these fights were just huge health pooled this time, but that's the way it's going to be. Rank 4 defenders are getting more common. So I lock on without taking a single blocked hit, which was nice, and we're going to go into this fight. We're going to just absolutely start ripping into this Thing here, and you're going to see I push him to 2 bars of power. I bait the special 2, so everything's going perfect. We're 20 seconds in. They've lost a third of their health already. You can see that I'm critting every so often, but not a crazy amount. And he has started to get some of the rock stacks. So at this point is where I think I made my biggest and first mistake, actually hitting them in this phase where I wasn't locked on or anything. Because now I actually tried to dex a couple there, and then you see I missed it. So what I wanted to do was dex and throw the special 2. I ended up missing that and taking a combo. Because the special 2 should have done some half decent damage, but I throw the special 3 and Thing instantly replies with a special 1, which is fine. But because of the aspect of evolution node, now what's starting to happen is his ability accuracy is coming up so much that Falcon's lock on isn't actually preventing anything. And you can see here the protection damage is just covering him. My basic attacks are doing like 100 HP. I'm on 76%, they're on 18%. It looks pretty like steady. I'm just waiting for my lock on to come back. So I tried to lock on here, they throw a heavy attack. I think, yeah, they try for another one, but luckily the lock on kicked in. And what I was hoping for there was that he'd just shell up for a second. And yeah, I forgot to count to 15. Got pushed into the corner, let him trigger the unstoppable, threw the special 2, hoping that I'd do some damage. And the special 2 crit while locked on was 1.3k damage. There, I just get pinned in the corner and miss the special 2 dex, and I'm dead. So what looked like a really clean, easy Thing fight with Falcon at the start turned out not to be. You can see there, left them with 16k health. Spoke to the officers, they spoke to me. It was just kind of something that we oversighted with in terms of the way that we assigned it. I could have played it a lot better, and obviously people have pointed that out to me, especially in the Alliance since. But these things happen in the time. And you see, I just do a 40% revive. People might kick off at me for that, but the way that first fight started, I knew it was probably going to be less than a combo for them to die. And that was the case. So that was actually my war done. I was the only death of, well, both battle group 3s, so good job to the Matrix for them for their side. But luckily for us, we managed to pull it back and we ended up winning 12-2. So good luck to them for the rest of the season. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.